What up, y'all? It's Mr. Downtown Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Friday, September 14th, 2018, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Netflix has acquired the beauty pageant film Dumpling, starring Jennifer Aniston, and features original music from Dolly Parton. The film, set to premiere on Netflix later this year, follows a plus-sized teenage daughter of a former beauty queen who signs up for her mom's beauty pageant in protest. The act inspires others to do the same, challenging the pageant and its small Texas town in the process. Joining Aniston will be Danielle McDonald, Odeya Rush, Dove Cameron, Harold Pinero, Bex Taylor Claus, and Ginger Min. Ann Fletcher is directing from a script by Kristen Hahn. Dumpling is based on author Julie Murphy's best-selling novel of the same name. Parton has recorded 6 new original songs for the film, co-written with Linda Perry. The soundtrack also features new versions of classic Parton songs that feature special guest vocalists such as Sia, Miranda Lambert, Mavis Staples, Elle King, Alison Krauss, Rhonda Vincent, McDonald, and Aniston. The song Here I Am, performed by Parton and Sia, will be available for download and streaming on September 14th. The track originally appeared on Parton's 1971 album Coat of Many Colors. Netflix teased Dumpling on Twitter Wednesday alongside a gif of a pink pageant crown. Nickelodeon has announced a new host for its upcoming revival of Blue's Clues, television newcomer Josh De La Cruz. The network had made the announcement Thursday on Facebook alongside a video of Cruz introducing himself and explaining how he became the host of the new series titled Blue's Clues and You. De La Cruz, who has worked on Broadway and has made appearances on CBS's Bull and ABC's Time After Time, was selected following an auditioning process that was supervised by original host Steve Burns. Burns said in a statement, "I had the great honor of being a part of the search for the new host, and I give Josh 2 thumbs up. He can definitely fill my shoes and the rugby shirt." Blue's Clues and You have received a 20-episode order and once again featured anime puppy Blue as she helps audiences and host De La Cruz solve educational puzzles. Production is set to begin in September in Toronto. De La Cruz in the announcement video teased changes coming to the series' signature item, the handy dandy notebook. The original Blue's Clues was launched in 1996 and ran for 6 seasons. American Horror Story actresses Sarah Paulson, Connie Britton, and Angela Bassett, as well as the stars of Netflix's Queer Eye, have been added as presenters for Monday's Emmy Award presentation. The Television Academy also confirmed Matt Smith and Claire Foy from The Crown, Elizabeth Moss from The Handmaid's Tale, and Andy Samberg from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Issa Rae from Insecure, comedians Hannah Gadsby, Samantha Bee, and Jimmy Kimmel, and film stars Patricia Arquette, Eric Bana, Ben Stiller, and Benicio del Toro will help hand out statuettes at the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. The ceremony honoring excellence in television will be hosted by Saturday Night Live players Michael Che and Colin Jost. The gala is to air live on NBC. Game of Thrones leads with 22, while nominations were announced in July. SNL and Westworld are up for 21 prizes apiece, and The Handmaid's Tale was nominated for 20. British actor Daniel Radcliffe appeared on Wednesday's edition of The Tonight Show, where host Jimmy Fallon shared jokes that have been made about him online. Radcliffe admits that he is aware there are internet memes of him as his most famous character, Harry Potter, but he insists I don't seek them out. He then agreed to look at some of the memes Fallon has prepared. Radcliffe said, "Yeah, please, I feel like I should be educated." One photo shows a dog wearing Harry's signature glasses, tie, and robe. It was captioned, "Harry Pugger." Another meme includes a picture of him with the message, "If you're having a Quidditch problem, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a snitch ain't one." A nod to the sport played in the Wizarding world. One photo of him shows with his mouth wide open saying, "Braun, hold on, are those shoes on sale?" Radcliffe can now be seen on Broadway in the comedy The Lifespan of Effect opposite Bobby Cannavale and Cherry Jones. Netflix has renewed its controversial comedy Insatiable for a second season to air in 2019. Even before the show debuted last month, it was widely criticized for alleged fat shaming. The show stars Debbie Ryan as Patty, an overweight teen whose life changes after she sheds pounds because her jaw was wired shut due to an injury. She weaponizes the newfound popularity she receives because of her looks and seeks revenge against those who are cruel to her. Ryan said at the show's premiere, "I think we hear and see and acknowledge some of the backlash. I think for us, I know that the show that I signed on for, and I'm very proud of what we've done. And it makes me really happy that people are seeing it." Co-star Alyssa Milano added, "I'm completely aware that it's not a show for everybody, but we're really proud of what we did. And I think that people are, at the very least, it will be a conversation starter." Christopher Gorham, the cast member, told UPI, "Really, the show more than anything revels in body and bully shaming. We deal with body image issues in the show, and we deal it because show creator Lauren Gusses has had body image issues and dealt with them in her life. Almost, if not every issue we deal with in the show is something that she's dealt with in her personal life, and she's certainly not going to be shamed herself." The ensemble also includes Dallas Roberts, Sarah Colonna, Aaron Westbrook, Kimmy Shields, Michael Provost, and Irene Choi. Music superstar John Legend has signed on as a coach for season 16 of the singing competition series The Voice, NBC announced Thursday. He'll join Kelly Clarkson, Adam Levine, and Blake Shelton as mentors. Carson Dale will be back as host. Legend tweeted, "So excited." The entertainer cemented his EGOT status last weekend after he won an Emmy as a producer for the network's concert event Jesus Christ Superstar, in which he also sang and acted. Legend won an Oscar in 2015 for his original song Glory, co-written by Common for the movie Selma, and a Tony Award in 2017 as the producer of August Wilson's Jitney, which won for Best Revival of a Play. He also has 10 Grammy Awards for his recording efforts. Paul Tegeldi, the president of Alternative and Reality Group for NBC Entertainment, said in a statement, "John Legend is one-of-a-kind musician and producer with remarkable skills that are beyond measure. His multi-dimensional career and incredible talents provides a repertoire that will excite and inspire other artists." This coaching panel is sure to ignite Season 16. Season 15 of The Voice kicks off September 24th. The coaches are Clarkson, Levine, Shelton, and Jennifer Hudson. Doug Davidson says he hasn't been outright fired from The Young and the Restless after 40 years, but fans shouldn't expect to see much of him in the future. Davidson told Soap Opera News, "My contract was not renewed in January, and I went on recurring status, but as it stands now, I only have 2 shows left to air and no new dates." The actor says he thinks his character, Paul Williams, still has a story to tell. He added, "We are only limited and freed by the writing. There's always story. The writers are focused in a different direction. I understand that. It's hard for me not to be emotional, period, in any circumstance, but I've been doing this show so long I can't help but be subjective." Members of the soap community rallied around Davidson on Twitter when they heard of his predicament. Rocker and General Hospital alum Rick Springfield tweeted a link to the petition to keep Davidson on Young and the Restless. Springfield wrote, "Doug Davidson YR is my best friend forever and was the best actor and mainstay character on the show. An Emmy-winning great human being, a truthful actor with an open heart. Another show needs to snap this giant-hearted, brilliant actor up." Stephen Nichols from General Hospital said in his own post, "This is an absolute travesty. What's going on over there? This man has not only acted his ass off at Young and the Restless for 40 years, but is a man of the utmost integrity. I'm saddened by this news. Much love, Doug." Reaction to the outpouring of online fan love he has been receiving this week, Davidson wrote, "You are all so wonderful. I so appreciate your support and kindness and love. Thanks for a fabulous career." Will and Grace actor Eric McCormack was honored with the 2,644th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Thursday. McCormack was honored for his career in television and on Broadway during a ceremony in front of the Easttown apartment complex on Hollywood Boulevard ahead of the premiere of Season 10 of Will and Grace, which was revived last year. During his speech, McCormack reflected on his lifelong love of acting and thanked his parents, his wife, Janet Holden, and his son, Finnegan McCormack. He also describes gratitude for the opportunity to star as Will Turman on Will and Grace, alongside castmates Megan Mullany, Deborah Messing, and Sean Hayes, who were in attendance. He said, "The only reason I'm really here today is because 20 years ago, Max Muchnick and David Cohen trusted me with the role of a lifetime. NBC trusted me, and eventually a whole community, the LGBTQ community, trusted me with their story, and I'm so grateful for that for the rest of my life. With that trust came a gift, 3 gifts actually, Dara Messing, Sean Hayes, and Megan Mullany. Muchnick, co-creator of Will and Grace, described McCormick's character as a better version of himself, partly due to McCormick's extraordinary performances. He also said he didn't believe McCormick didn't receive his due recognition for his work being because he portrayed a gay character. He said Eric's work belongs not just in the canon of gay popular culture, but in the canon of popular culture, period. The fact that this gay leading man is played by a straight actor is a testament not only to his skills, but to his bravery. Muchnick also commended McCormick for inspiring LGBTQ youth through his role on the show. He says, by showing up on Thursday nights in our living rooms and playing a gay man with a stunning amount of integrity, Eric tells our audience that it doesn't just get better, it gets fabulous. McCormick made his first television appearance in 1987 in an episode of the Canadian Broadcast Corp comedy Hanging In, and earned his first series role in the Western Lonesome Dove, the series from 1994 to 1996. He then starred in the original run of Will and Grace from 1998 to 2006 and was nominated for the Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy 4 times for his role in the show, winning once in 2001. In addition to the starring in the revival of the series, McCormick also stars in the Netflix science fiction series Travelers. McCormick says, these stars are about the future generations to come understanding and appreciating what came before them. I was born in Canada. I will probably die in Canada, but a little piece of me will always be right here where I always dreamt it would be. Orphan black actress Tatiana Maslany is to make her Broadway debut in the Play Network opposite Breaking Bad star Bryan Cranston. The show is being directed by Ivo Van Hove. Lee Hall wrote the stage drama, which is based on the classic 1976 movie about a television news anchorman, Howard Beale, played by Peter Finch, who has an on-air breakdown that translates into ratings gold for his bosses. Maslany will play Diana Christensen, the programming executive Faye Dunaway portrayed in the movie. The play is slated to begin performances at the Belasco Theater on November 10th and opening night set for December 6th. Maslany was at the Toronto International Film Festival earlier this week to promote her upcoming movie Destroyer. She co-stars with Nicole Kidman and Sebastian Stan in the project. Norm Macdonald appeared on The View Thursday, where he apologized for remarks he made regarding Down syndrome and clarified controversial statements he made recently that defended comedians Roseanne Barr and Louis C.K. Macdonald, who has been busy promoting his new Netflix series Norm Macdonald Has a Show, first came under fire when he said during an interview with The Hollywood Reporter that he was glad that the Me Too movement had slowed down while defending Barr and C.K. The interview caused The Tonight Show to cancel the scheduled appearance from Macdonald and prompted the comedian to apologize on Twitter about how he didn't mean to minimize the pain of victims affected by Barr and CK. Macdonald's made his Down syndrome remarks on Wednesday while appearing on the Howard Stern Show. He said on the talk show, "You have to have Down syndrome not to feel sorry for the Me Too victims." Macdonald said on The View during his apology about how he, instead of saying Down syndrome, he wanted to use a different word. There's a thing on Howard where there's a recklessness in the studio. He said, stupidly, I was about to say that word, and then I stopped and said, what's the right word to say? And then I said a different word that was equally offensive. I realized in that moment that it was something unforgivable. The remark that I made about people with Down syndrome was just a terrible, terrible thing for me to say. View host Joy Behar also asked for Macdonald to clarify his remarks made to the Hollywood Reporter and if he really thought the hardship faced by CK was equal to the hardship faced by his victims. According to Macdonald, that is not what he meant, and instead he was commented on how he brought CK and Barr together to talk as they had gone through similar things. Macdonald said of what he told Barr, I said, I know Louis, and he's been through this. He has everything taken from him. And I said, not many of us have gone through this, so you should talk to each other. And then the Hollywood Reporter asked, well, what about the victims? And I said, well, the victims haven't gone through this. I was talking about this particular event. Of course, the victims have gone through worse than that. But what? Am I going to get a victim to phone Roseanne? Norm Macdonald's Has a Show will premiere on Friday. Professional wrestling icon Ric Flair married his longtime fiancée Wendy Barlow Wednesday during a ceremony in North Florida. In attendance were WWE stars The Undertaker, Dolph Ziggler, who walked Barlow down the aisle, and Flair's daughter Charlotte Flair, TMZ reported. Flair and Barlow have been dating for 6 years. The couple first met during Flair's time competing in WCW. This is Flair's fifth time walking down the aisle. Flair posted on Twitter Tuesday a photo of himself and Barlow smiling together before the wedding. He says, the night before the big day. Flair made headlines in July when he underwent successful intestinal surgery. The procedure followed the wrestling legend being put on life support in August 2017 before recovering. The two-time WWE Hall of Famer says his near-death experience was due to lifelong alcoholism. Former First Lady Michelle Obama is planning a U.S. tour packed with speaking engagements this fall to promote her new memoir, Becoming. The wife of Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States, talked about her book in a video she posted to her social media accounts Wednesday. She said, my memoir called Becoming is coming out November 13th, and I can't wait to share it with the world. This time I've been out of the White House. I've had time to think and reflect for the first time in a long time, and I spent some time really thinking about the people and the stories and the experiences that have shaped me and helped me become the person I am today. And I'm proud of what I've created. I'm proud because it's candid, it's honest, it's totally and utterly me. Obama's first stop on her tour will be at the United Center in her hometown of Chicago on November 13th. Live Nation says she will also sit for moderated conversations at arenas in Los Angeles, Boston, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Detroit, Denver, San Jose, Dallas, and Washington, D.C. 10% of the proceeds from the tickets will be donated to various local charities, schools, and communities groups in each city of the tour. Tickets will go on sale to the general public starting September 21st. Tara Traub, the senior vice president of Live Nation Touring, said in a statement, we are honored to be part of these special events with former First Lady Michelle Obama. Hearing her shares her story in person will be a memorable life experience for attendees of the Becoming Tour and one that will help encourage people to find their own voices and pursue their dreams for a better future for themselves, their families, and their communities. The Obamas have been spending time developing and producing content for Netflix. K-pop group BTS took center stage Wednesday on NBC's America's Got Talent to perform their latest single, Idol. The performance featured the South Korean boy band delivering a number of highly choreographed moves while they danced in front of a colorful screen. BTS were joined on stage by a large number of backup dancers as Idol reached its climax. BTS sings in the chorus, "You Can't Stop Loving Yourself." America's Got Talent host Tyra Banks posted on Twitter before the performance a photo of herself posing with BTS backstage. She says, at BTS_TWT are already legends, smizzy masters, fierce and fine fellows, wig snatchers, enormously talented, generally kind, sexy, the biggest boy band on the planet. Idol appears on BTS's latest album titled Love Yourself Answer. A music video for the track featured a verse from Nicki Minaj was recently released. BTS will make history in October when they become the first ever Korean act to perform a stadium show in the United States. The feat will take place when the group ends their North American leg of its Love Yourself tour on October 6th at Citi Field in New York. John Mellencamp has announced a new North American tour that will begin February 2019, following the release of his upcoming 24th studio album, Other People's Stuff. The tour, which will feature Mellencamp performing his classics along with new material, officially kicks off on February 7th at the Morris Performing Arts Center in South Bend, Indiana, before concluding March 30th following a two-night stint at the Ruth Eckerd Hall in Clearwater, Florida. Mellencamp will also be performing in such cities as Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Baltimore, New York, St. Louis, Kansas City, and Nashville, among others. Tickets go on sale for the general public on September 21st at 10 a.m. local time. Pre-sales and VIP tickets will be available for purchase starting on September 19th at 10 a.m. local time. Every ticket purchase includes a physical copy of Other People's Stuff, which is set to be released on November 16th. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1955, Little Richard records Tutti Frutti. The question of who invented rock and roll will never be answered authoritatively, but one of the handful of names that belongs in any discussion of the topic is Richard Wayne Penniman, better known as Little Richard. He has called himself the architect of rock and roll, a title that he has every right to claim by force of both his music, which plays a critical role of moving early rock and roll towards his now familiar sound, and his personality, personality, which helped create our basic expectations of rock and roll performers and performances. The combined power of those forces was unleashed upon the world as a result of the events that took place on this date in 1955, when Little Richard walked into a New Orleans recording studio and gave birth to a record called Tutti Frutti. As a child growing up in Macon, Georgia, Little Richard was exposed to great music by the likes of Bing Crosby and Ella Fitzgerald, but it left him wanting something stronger. He later said, "I knew there was something that could be louder than that, but didn't know where to find it, and I found out it was me." Tutti Frutti Good Booty, that was the way the version went to Little Richard, was accustomed to performing in his club act. And from there it got a lyrical territory that would deem censorship even by today's standards. It was during a lunch break from his first ever recording session that Little Richard went to the piano and banged that filthy tune out for producer Bumps Blackwell, who was extremely unhappy with the results of the session so far. As Blackwell would later tell it, he hits that piano and starts to sing a wap-a-ba-doo-la about bang goddamn. And I said, wow, that's what I want from you, Richard. That is a hit. But first, the song's racy lyrics had to be reworked there to be any chance the song would deem acceptable by the conservative American audience of the 1950s. An inspiring local songwriter by the name of Dorothy LaBrostré was quickly summoned into the Dewdrop Inn to come up with the new lyrics for the unrecordable original. And by that time, they all returned from the lunchtime. The Tutti Frutti All Rudy, which we now are familiar, was written down alongside lyrics about two gals named Sue and Daisy. In the last 15 minutes of that historic recording session, on September 14th, 1955, Tutti Frutti was recorded, and Little Richard's claim to have been present at the birth of rock and roll was secure. Also on this date in 1982, Princess Grace of Monaco, the American-born former film star Grace Kelly, whose movie credits include The Country Girl and Rear Window, dies at the age of 52 from injuries suffered after her car plunged off a mountain road near Monte Carlo. During the height of her Hollywood career in the 1950s, Kelly became an international icon of beauty and glamour. Kelly, the daughter of a former model and a wealthy industrialist, was born on November 12, 1929 in Philadelphia and began acting as a child. After high school, she attended the American Academy for Dramatic Arts in New York. While she auditioned for Broadway plays, the classic blonde beauty supported herself by modeling and appearing in TV commercials. In 1949, Kelly debuted on Broadway in The Father by Augustus Strindberg. 2 years later, she landed her first Hollywood bit part in 14 Hours. Her big break came in 1952 when she starred as Gary Cooper's wife in the Western High Noon. Her performance in 1954 as The Country Girl, as the wife of an alcoholic actor and singer played by Bing Crosby, won her an Academy Award for Best Actress. Among Kelly's other acting credits were 3 Alfred Hitchcock thrillers, Dial M for Murder, 1954, with Ray Milland, and Robert Cummings' Rear Window, 1954, with James Stewart, and To Catch a Thief with Cary Grant. Her last big screen role was in 1956 High Society, a musical adaptation of the 1940s The Philadelphia Story, co-starring Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra. Kelly gave up her acting career after marrying Prince Rainier of Monaco on April 19, 1956, in a lavish ceremony in Monaco. The couple, who had met the year before at the Cannes Film Festival, went on to have 3 children. On September 13, 1982, Princess Grace was driving with her youngest daughter, Stephanie, when she reportedly suffered a stroke and lost control of her car, which plunged down a mountainside. 17-year-old Stephanie survived, but Princess Grace died the following day. Her death was mourned by millions of fans around the world. And that is your entertainment report for Friday, September 13th, 2018. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Everyone have a great weekend. Good night, and God bless you all.